Once you have the pieces cut out, it is a good idea to make sure that they fit together properly by setting them together and checking the top of each piece as shown here to make sure that they are flush with one another. If it is not, make the necessary cuts to make sure the pieces fit together. After that, you're ready to start sanding. There's a progression of sanding. Start with the 100 grit and go to the 120 grit and then to the 150 grit to make sure that you get the project sanded down smoothly. You are trying to smooth out areas such as this that occur from going through the planer. Your board will need the most work at first, and so you will start with a coarse grit such as 100 grit. You will spend the most time with this grit going back and forth over your board. Do not stay in one area very long, as this will cause unevenness across the surface. Use slow and steady patterns across the entire surface of your board until it is free of rough fibers. Then move on to the next grit of 120 and sand all surfaces. You will spend about half the time on this grit as you did the 100 grit. Then move on to the 150 grit and spend about the same time as you did as the 120 grit. And then do a final pass with the 150 grit. If desired, you can work up to 180 and then 220 grit to make for a very smooth project. The next thing that you're going to do here is nail the sides in place. Make sure to put a clamp on the sides to hold them into place so that when you nail the boards they don't come apart and that they're held securely when you put the nail in place. As you put the nails in, make sure that they're about an inch down from the top and up from the bottom, and that they're in from the ends of the boards about 3/8 of an inch, because the thickness of the material that you are nailing into is 3/4, so half of that would be 3/8, which would put the nail right in the center of the material. While the wood filler is drying, you can now cut down the top to the final dimensions. First, rip it down to 12 inches and then cross cut it to 16 inches long.